Hello, I'm Dr. Mikey Mewborn, and this is Church Ministry. Okay, today we're looking at the midterm review for the upcoming midterm examination. So this review today is going to give you a lot of information, things that we've gone over in the past. So there's several slides with definitions of different terms and explanations of different things that you need to know for the examination. So please make sure that you study these things and be ready for the exam as it's coming up very soon. All right, God bless you, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks. Bye. Hello and welcome to Church Ministry. Today we're going to look at the review for your midterm examination. So let's go ahead and jump into this. You have your notes, you have different slides, you have your lessons that are still available for you on YouTube. But let me give you a little bit of a focus on what your midterm is going to be all about, okay? The first thing I'd like you to know about is in Acts chapter 6, verses 1 through 5, or that first part of Acts chapter 6. I want you to see what ministry and leadership is all about with this the ministry of these first people that were often called the first servants or the first deacons. And so I want you to see how this plays out in leadership and ministry. So know that passage of Scripture. The next one is to know Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. This will be very important for you as we look at some different aspects of leadership as well. Beautiful story there. The next thing I want you to be able to do is look at the meaning of the word church. It can be a building, denomination, universal church, local church. Of course, the words that we prefer to look at are universal and local, and what does that mean? And so just kind of have a little bit of an understanding of that. That would be great. The word ecclesia is found throughout the Bible, and it's referring to maybe a political assembly, a Jewish assembly, or a Christian church. And so be able to recognize that. As we continue on, the purpose of the church, and you see here there's 4 different purposes that a church comes together to do, or what the focus is. Number 1, the church structures a climate for worship. The church provides the setting for worship. The church develops a strategy for evangelism. The church maintains a ministry of education, and that's helpful seeing what's going on there. I thought this was very appropriate for our test. 6 characteristics of most churches, and I'd like for you to know those 6 things there on the left-hand side, and that would be very helpful looking at unity and community in the body. And then also, I'd like for you to know the body metaphor that's given in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Not too many verses there, just a few verses to know about that. But the 2 things I want you to think about is God has a place for everyone in the church. Everyone's place is very important to the church. All right. The next thing is Principles of Biblical Leadership by Kenneth Gangle. And so there are 9 of these principles, I believe, that we're looking at here. And I'd love for you to be familiar with these different principles of biblical leadership. So make sure that you know those. There's the first 4, and then here we have the last 5 there. And please definitely know those as well as you can. That will be on your test. The next thing is professional minister versus missionary minister. I'd like you to be able to distinguish between these 2 types of ministers, and that would be helpful for the exam. Hey, it'd be good to know who's the greatest leader of all time, which we should know that is Jesus Christ. All right. Types of Christian leadership regarding the church, organismically or organizationally. Know the differences with those 2 things. That would be very, very helpful. Kind of know those definitions, how they break down. You're not going to need to know some of these definitions word for word. Just having a great understanding of them as you go. All right. Important characteristics for Christian leadership. You'll need to know these 4 things: acceptance and responsibility, meekness and humility, teachableness, and then care for followers. And these are 4 things that are important for you to know about Christian leadership. All right. The next thing is bureaucracy and effectiveness. We see 5 things there. Effective executives know where their time goes, focus on outward contribution, build on strengths, those types of things. Try to create a chart to remember those, because that'll be helpful as you go. Definition of administration, be able to give us Ordway Teed's definition there. You don't have to be able to know it word for word, but know it in general and know what it's talking about. It's important that you know that, all right? Functions of administration. What are the functions? Going over these a few times, you'll probably get the gist of what's going on here. just make sure that you know this list as well as you can, and that'll be good. All right, job control. Know this definition means having a level of confidence to maintain and manage a major leadership position while maintaining a positive or happy working attitude. That's called job control. Make sure you got that. As well as decision making and critical thinking. Know the definition of critical thinking skills, or what that means: the ability to identify and challenge assumptions, to imagine and explore alternatives based on the understanding that absolute truth does undergird our lives. The next thing is tips to improve your decision making skills. There's some tips there. Please know those tips, what that's about. The next thing is straightforward. Decision-making and problem-solving processes. But this is a process we're going to go by. We're looking at steps 1 through 7. Be able to know these steps. This is something I'd want you to know all 7 of these, and kind of looking at that and how that's given. And it'll come right from this slide. Okay? The next thing, know the definition of a group. A group is a collection of individuals whose existence as a collection is rewarding to the individuals. All right, know that. It'd be good to recognize the differences between healthy groups and sick groups. There might be some matching going on with this, different things like that. So make sure that you know what is a healthy group, what is a sick group, and there's 2 slides for that, okay? So make sure you got that. And then expectations of group members: attendance, confidentiality, learning, responsibility, avoid defensiveness. Those 5 expectations are important to know. The chairperson's role: there are 6 things there. Be able to recognize these 6 things and know them as well as you can. 6 words, that'd be great. You've already had a quiz on this in the past. Leadership assumptions about conflict. Be able to know those as well. And then no, it'd be great if you knew this saying: blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. Wonderful saying, and I love to say that very often. Motivation arises from what leaders give, not from what they take. Be thankful in all things. Know these. Understand the change within motivation. Know these things about being positive and motivating people. How do you do that? Understand a little bit of the word ideographic, what that word means, and you can see that on the slide there. And then I want you to be able to kind of offer this definition by Kouzes and Posner, which says leadership is a reciprocal relationship between those who choose to lead and those who decide to follow. And maybe a little bit about the lead cow mentality, but that's just going to be in your notes there, okay? All right, well, that was it. That's the midterm review. I know it's a lot of information, but you can definitely get it. It only took a little over 7 minutes to run through that, so I know you'll be able to study all these things and get them dialed in, all right? Well, God bless you, and we do well in the exam. Bye-bye. All right, that concludes our look at the midterm review. I know this is going to be helpful for you because what we've looked at throughout these slides is going to be on the exam. So make sure that you study these slides very closely. You might have to go back and look at some old lessons as well to see if you've taken some notes in some different areas. Also, you have your different textbooks that you can look at for this examination. So you have what you need. Man, we'll be praying for you with the exam, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.